Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 9 of the Hoof Football Podcast, rounding up to the big double-digit number. There's no Joe Edgar again, so it's the same cast of me, Charlie Lewis, and Josh. Charlie, I'm going to start with you because you're wearing the whole shirt. You've already had a rant. How are we feeling about Colton Morris?
He's a massive pain in the arse, is what I think. But I can't really be frustrated at him for losing against Derby. I think it was more our goalkeeper and our centre back, Sammy J, for the stupid mistake of how we conceded that second goal. The ball bounced right in front of a J, and he just decided not to clear the ball and let Pando try and clear it, even though Pando's about miles away from the ball. So yeah, I'm not happy. I'm really hoping we get a win on Saturday.
Hmm.
Just it's annoying how our unbeaten run has ended just like that.
Well, if you want to hear more about Charlie talking about Hull, go follow Tigers Hub on TikTok. Don't treat yourself. Josh, how are you? Better week than Charlie?
Yeah, like we only played Arsenal, so I feel alright. Like
You
2
captained Derby
0.
haven't you, in your fantasy as well. You fucking
Yeah,
have.
yeah, I'm not stupid, am I?
Disgusting.
We
That's
flaming
actually a
up
bannable
top.
offence.
Like we're not getting past the midfield, never mind the defence, are we? So like, what?
Don't need to. Captain the
Um,
centre back against your own team.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, we were 2-0 down at half time. Last time we played Arsenal, we were 5-0 down at half time. So it's a positive, really. You
We'll
know,
take it.
Improvement.
we'll take what we
And it
can
stayed at
get.
two. So,
Exactly,
although I
exactly.
watched it on Match of the Day, I feel like I'm not just saying this because in my fantasy team, Saka should have scored at least two.
Yeah, you should have three, mate.
Fuming. Fuming. Lewis, Carabag, how are we?
Yeah, I accidentally might have preempted Chelsea having an upset against Qarabağ, seeing as before the game I made a TikTok as a joke, being like, "Oh, Qarabağ to upset Chelsea," and then I actually explained we were going to win 2-0 in that TikTok, and then we went and threw away a lead and drew to them. So yeah, not a great week for Chelsea. We seem to be up and down every single week, seeing as we beat Spurs, and then we went probably going to lose to who have we got this weekend?
Got Wolves. But
Got Wolves. Yeah, we'll probably lose to
Please
Wolves.
don't.
I think if you'd beaten Carabag, there's more of a chance of you losing to Wolves. But now because you
It's
didn't
just the
beat
new
Carabag, you
it's
might
just the
now.
new manager bounce that I'm worried about with Wolves. Well, they
They've
haven't
not
currently
had any
got a
managers.
manager, but still they might do something now that they've lost Vito Pro.
Well, they fancy handsome Rob, but who doesn't? You know, he's a handsome man. So he's a handsome man. We got a 96-minute winner against Leicester thanks to Big Luke Ayling. So
I thought we were an
Oh yeah.
equaliser.
equaliser
Yeah, it's
wasn't
an
it?
equaliser,
It
mate.
felt like a winner because we were shit
Yeah.
and so were they. Dreadful game. Um,
Oh, your fella celebrates draws against Leicester.
I fucking do. I fucking do. I play that badly. I started playing the FM demo because I was that bored. Honestly, great game then. Great game. Okay. Well, today we're going to be looking all over Europe, which does include England. Thanks for mentioning that before the podcast, Charlie. And we're looking into teams all over the continent who are going beyond their means and look set to achieve a big thing this season. So it could be, a shock title contender, could be someone in the European battle that you wouldn't expect to be, or it could just be someone who you thought was going to be really shit and they're actually not that shit. So say Wolves were on 10 points, or Burnley. Burnley, for example. You could have them. I'm hoping you don't have Burnley, Josh. That'd
No,
be
I don't.
that's a relief. Charlie, we're going to go to you first because I think I know who you've picked and I want to know if I'm right.
Okay. I picked Espanyol.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
convinced you were
Pirates.
going to pick Como, if I'm honest.
I tell you what, I did almost pick them, but I did go for Espanyol in the end.
Oh, you
And
can pass.
the reason why is, I mean, 2 seasons ago, obviously similar to Como, they were in the second division. The second division of Spanish football. And last season, they literally just escaped relegation with a 2-0 win to Las Palmas because their form was just absolutely terrible towards the end of the season. This season, they're sixth at the moment in a Conference League spot, which I really don't think anyone would have expected in the La Liga. And they're only 4 points off the Champions League as well. So, in terms of the form, it's kind of been. I wouldn't say it's been more or less consistent, but it has been at a good standard, I'd say, for Espanyol compared to plenty of previous seasons when they've been in the La Liga. And you look at the players, you look at the team, and you don't. It doesn't scream to you that the squad that should be getting European football. The players, I don't think they don't look as if they should be high quality in La Liga. Like they're more or less just kind of like loan players from like championship sides, and then kind of got players who have been bought from, I guess, struggling Spanish teams. But I think the real person that does stand out for Espanyol, who I think has made the biggest impact for the club since taking charge, is Manolo Gonzalez. Since towards the end of the second division, I believe, when they did get promoted, I think he really did kind of give them a positive impact to at least claim promotion. And then it was kind of that struggle and risk of staying in La Liga, which he somehow managed to do. And the fact how they're now currently sat in sixth with the squad he has, I think has to be pointed out as probably one of the biggest overachievers of think of the any European league, to be honest. But that's based on my opinion anyway.
Well, you're off to a good start because I've just looked at the squad and they've got former Middlesbrough cult hero Kike up top. So
Yeah,
um, you might be onto a winner here, Charlie. I've also seen Luca Coglioscio of Burnley fame.
Yeah.
Is he
yeah.
on loan there, is he, Joshua?
Yeah.
Great fun. And Tyrese Dolan as well of Blackburn fame. Um, great little squad. Great
Yeah.
little
We,
squad.
we kind of used the City tactic of owning Espanyol, so we just sent Coleocio back over on loan.
But you own them.
Yeah, Alan Pearce owns them now.
How have Burnley got a multi-club model? What
I
is
know.
going on?
Why do you think
JJ
they
Watt and
picked
Alan
him?
Pearce.
What is the
Telling you.
world coming to? And I'm surprised it's not like Rochdale or something.
We do still have our affiliate with Accrington Stanley, to be fair.
Oh,
So
yes. That's more like
them
it.
and Dundee.
That's more like it. I like the shout, Charlie. I like the shout. I'm not going to lie to you, I've got a Spanish team in my kind of honourable mentions list. So we may come back to that, but I do like the shout of Espanyol. Josh, let's go for a more Brexit approach. Let's hear yours.
Well, I spoke about them on the pod before, obviously. I can't remember what episode it were. It was fairly early on, but I've gone with Bournemouth. Right, I get. All right, Jesus Christ. But I've said it's pretty much one of the points I've said before of how you can lose a whole defense, pretty much a defense which was incredible last year, and still be sitting fifth in the league. Technically third, way up level on points with Liverpool. Obviously, I'm not saying Kepa were exactly a world beater, but he still did all right. They've lost both centre halves for quite a lot of money going to big PSG and Real Madrid. That's like in what world? Like imagine 5 years ago we said, yeah, two Bournemouth centre backs are going to go to PSG and Real Madrid. I think that just shows how good we were last year. Obviously, Kirkes at left back as well, not having as good a like start as the centre halves, but we'll ignore that. But in terms of stats, we've kept 4 clean sheets already. Playing it, and we've played away like at places away to like Tottenham. Obviously, Tottenham are doing a lot better than we did last year. Like, it is in a way a hard place to go unless you're Chelsea, obviously. And I get we are conceding 1.4 goals per game, but I think it's also a thing of we're doing so well. Like, we know Semenyo's good, and I feel like he's obviously carried on his form. And anyway, FPL players know that. And obviously, the replacements we've made for the players that have gone, the fact they've been able to step in so well and just act like we've been here for like however long, like you get what I mean? Like it's not some players take some time to develop and settle into the Premier League, especially in defence. When it's, for example, Haaland, no one's going to settle against that. And even like in the City game, we didn't even do that bad. We got unlucky with 2 goals on the break with Haaland really, and that second half I thought we were a better team. But the fact that we sat fourth with a whole new defence, I'm sat fifth, sorry, on level on points with third. For me, I thought we would have been like 10th or something like that. I didn't think we'd be pushing for Europe again.
Yeah, I think Iraiola's doing an incredible job, and I equally I would have thought they'd be kind of eighth, ninth, 10th, and not fifth. But I just think it's a bit boring, Josh. I
All
just
right, good for you.
think it's just a bit boring. I don't know if anyone's got anything to say
I
about
could have gone with Burnley.
I mean, that I would have respected that shout more. Lewis, have
No,
you got
I
anything to
can't go with my
say
own
to
club.
counter Bournemouth? I mean, I think we all agree they're doing well, but like,
I think, like you said, going into the pod when obviously I kind of thought, is Josh going to go for a Prem team? It was kind of the two in my head where I thought if you're going to say these, they're a little bit obvious at this moment in time. There's probably Sunderland and Bournemouth in terms of just where they are. Like, undoubtedly, what Josh said is correct. Like, to say where they are is by definition probably an overachievement because they've lost that defence and because obviously we probably didn't have them kind of up there fighting for a Champions League spot right now. But I think most people are kind of aware of the rise of Bournemouth this season and what Iriola's done over the last couple of seasons. So I think it was more we'd expect them to be an overachiever in terms of kind of the noise around them at the moment in time.
yeah. I mean, I will like I say, he's doing incredible. I mean, I've just been looking now. They haven't lost a home game, which is pretty good. They've only conceded 2 goals in 5 games at home. So, like, they are very good. But I kind of expected them to be maybe not quite this good. I'll give you it. They are. I would say they probably
Thank
are
you.
overachieving. So I don't think it's like necessarily a bad shout. I just think just a bit boring, you know. Um, but can I knock points for boring? Maybe I can. I'm in charge. So, Lewis, let's hear yours, mate.
So I also actually identified Espanyol just as my backup in case someone's going to go with my Serie A club. So instead, the one that I led with was Cremonese. So I looked at them and I thought, you know what, they're mid-table at the moment. They've only actually ever been in Serie A since 1996 twice. So this is the second time they've got to Serie A. And they currently only got 2 defeats in their opening 10 games. And the only 2 losses this season so far is against Inter Milan. Yeah, I was going to say Inter Miami then.
Bit weird.
Inter Milan and Juventus. And even in the Juventus game, which was their last game under a new manager, I thought they looked really, really good. And they actually made tactical adjustments where in that second half, when they were 2-1 down to Juventus, they didn't come back, but they also, yeah,
Did you watch that game? Did you?
what?
You said you thought they
No,
were
I
really
went
good.
on a Cremonese fan chat and looked at how they were saying about the game, and they were saying that they felt that the tactical adjustments of the manager in the second half was really good to kind of shut Juventus down and make Juventus kind of be on the back foot.
Cool.
Does
Can
that
we
answer your
can
question?
we shout them out, or is this like a random fan forum you found?
It was just on Google.
All right.
So
Well,
if you
shout
go
out
on the
Google.
first Google page, have a look. Yeah, it's there.
Shout out Google.
But yeah, they're in. I just think that in general, they've spent the third lowest amount of money in Syria, about £7 million. And I think they've made some really interesting signings this season. Obviously, one of the big ones that everyone will be talking about in terms of it's brought kind of maybe the English audience is Jamie Vardy. He's already got 2 goals in his first 4 starts. He's played 6 games so far this season. He seems to give them a little bit of a bounce. At the start of the season, they beat AC Milan, and that was kind of like, oh, is that just a surprise? Is that a one-off? But I think they've proved through these 10 games that they're not a walkover. They've looked good. They've upset a couple of big teams. They got a draw against Atalanta away from home. They've beat some kind of other teams in the league that I just think you wouldn't expect them to do as well as they have started this season. And for me, like they brought in Serie A veteran Antonio, is it Sanabria, who I knew from kind of Torino in the past, who again is experienced in this league. He's often kind of spent most of his career in Serie A. I think that's a good signing as well as Jamie Vardy up front. They've gone for some exciting loanees. So Mubanga from Marseille on loan. And then I noticed Mikhail Fay, who was ex Barcelona, never really worked out for him at Barcelona. They've also got Saramento from Brighton. So I think there's some exciting prospects mixed with that kind of experience that they brought in. And I just think to say that they're mid-table with how small a club they are, how little they spend, even though they're not kind of challenging for Europe, like obviously Charlie said with Espanyol and obviously Bournemouth in the Prem, I think it's just the fact that most people would have had them to go down instantly or just be fodder in the Serie A this season. But instead, they're actually proving their worth, and they've got a very tactically aware manager who so far is doing very well.
I had Cremonese on my list of honourable mentions because I mean they're 8 points clear of the relegation zone already, which is it's a solid little buffer for, like you say, a no offense, tiny club. Maybe not tiny, but I hadn't heard of Cremonese really before this season. Only loosely. I think that's the same for a lot of people. Shout out Jamie Vardy and Tony Sanabria. Big shout outs. Big shout outs. Um, Obviously, I mentioned I had some honorable mentions. Charlie, you mentioned Espanyol in sixth in La Liga, or the La Liga, as you put it. I've got Getafe, one place below them.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
'Cause they've only had four losses this season, and two of those are against either Barca or Real Madrid. So you'd kind of expect them to lose those, really. They only lost 1-0 to Real Madrid as well. Um, they're not very exciting from the looks of things. They barely score, but they also don't really concede very much. And they lost one of their best defenders in Omar Alderete to an unnamed Premier League team. Um, they've also got a positive net spend of 9.5 million. So I think that they're doing well. And they've obviously got Juanmi, who I mentioned a few weeks ago, and beat someone 11-0 in the cup. So shout out Getafe. Um, I also went for a Belgian team. I went rogue. I went for
Always a Belgium.
shout out Belgium. Always a Belgian. Great reference from you there, man. I went for St. Truidens.
I thought you
Um,
would.
you thought
That was the team. No, I saw that they were up there, but I didn't know enough about
yeah.
them. Obviously, you can explain that for us.
I could try, mate. They're fourth in the league. They've got a positive net spend, and they haven't finished in the championship round since 09-10. I don't know anything about them, but fair play. That's just looks good, doesn't it?
You
Just looks
explained
good.
well.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. I really poured my heart and soul into that one. But my main one, which might be a bit of a shock, I've gone for RB Leipzig because they're currently second, and I think that's quite impressive. They've obviously lost Sesko, they've lost Openda, they've lost Simmons, so their attack's been gutted. They also lost the mainstay Yusuf Poulsen, who's always been there. He went permanently. They're unbeaten since opening day, which obviously they lost 6-0 to Bayern, and it looked pretty bad for them. But then they haven't lost since. And there's definitely no chance of a title because Bayern are going to run away with them. They've probably already won the league. But I think they look like they could well get UCL qualification, considering they finished seventh last season. And like I say, they've lost all those players. I think that's pretty impressive. I think they're doing well there. I don't know if anyone's wants to come back at me for that. You made a few.
My only argument with it would just be they're obviously a financially kind of backed club
Hmm.
with their owners. Their expectation, even over the last couple of seasons, has always been Champions League football. I know you said they fell off last season, seventh, struggled. They've definitely impressed. Similar to Bournemouth, with how many players they've lost, they've definitely impressed this season. So I think I just overachievers with Leipzig. I think their class is quite a big dog in the Bundesliga, but I understand what you're saying with who they've lost and kind of the key personnel and how they've brought in some kind of new exciting players that may be under the radar and how it's working for them. I don't know, it doesn't have a nice ring to it for me.
I feel like it is an overachievement though. And you say they're a big financially backed team. They've made £52 million of profit in the transfers this season. So,
In
you know,
general, obviously, their owners are not very
obviously,
well
yeah,
liked in the Bundesliga, and they are quite a financially strong club.
yeah. I still think they're overachieving. I think they're doing well. I'm proud of them. Charlie, you look ponderous.
Yeah, no, I could
No more
probably agree with
fair.
that. I would think maybe I guess would have expected them to try and get back into
Yeah.
Champions League football compared to last season, since I guess they are almost like, I guess if you had to name like the top four clubs in Bundesliga, you would go with Bayern, Dortmund, Leverkusen, and Leipzig. Um, I guess in a comparison to last season, I definitely think that they're overachieving. I think probably people would have been a bit doubtful for them to actually maybe even get Champions League football, especially after you've said with obviously like key players leaving the squad. But yeah, no, I agree with that. I definitely think the other shouts were better, but it's a
What my other
considerable
shout
one, I
or
think,
everyone
for
else's other
Leipzig.
shout? Yeah. You're calling out all my shouts,
No
Charlie.
comment.
I'm just gonna keep my hands to myself, say no.
All right.
Hands to yourself.
Thank God.
Whoa there, Bucko. Back yourself off. Should we try and agree on one? Should we try and agree on one?
Sorry, I'm more shocked that Lewis knows Italian going on Italian fan chats. I didn't realize you knew Italian, pal. Should have
Well,
said.
I didn't want to go with the easy prem, you know what I mean, which is a cop out. I decided to go for something a little bit more and actually do my research.
Yeah, Lewis has
Yeah,
been
so
on
you learnt
Duolingo for
Italian in
months.
the process.
He's been on Duolingo for months prepping for this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew it.
I'll be honest. I think Lewis has surprised me in terms of from the Serie A, because I feel like everyone would have probably gone with Como since again like the well, I guess similar to the point I made out 2 seasons ago, they were just in the second division. Now they're fighting for European football. But I guess with like Cremonese, again, like very rarely even get first division football, and the fact how they're 8 points away from relegation, was it? Did you say? Sorry.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like,
I think with Como, it's like Como I wouldn't have accepted in a sense of like overachievers because of the money that they've injected since the takeover, and obviously they've had quite kind of this big rise under Cesc Fabregas. But I think it's, for example, I think when I look this season, they've spent over 100 million euros and are like the fourth biggest spenders in Serie A. So even though they're seventh, battling kind of on the edge of Champions League football, even though they've had this rise, I wouldn't class them as overachievers in the sense that they've we know that they've got some key players, you know, and they're not really performing that great. They brought in Morata, who's done nothing so far. Sergio Roberto's not done too much. Like they are doing okay. They've got obviously Nico Paz, who's brilliant, but I think they're kind of where we would expect this season. I don't think they're overachievers in that sense. In terms of like maybe Espanyol and Cremonese, I think they're very similar. I mean, Espanyol last season were like 2 points above the relegation zone on the final day. I just think that Cremonese, like you said, are more that surprise element in terms of they're never really in the top flight at all.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned there about the net spend, Como, yeah, they have the fifth highest net spend in. Actually, I
Yeah,
think they have the highest net spend in the league. They've got the fifth highest amount spent anyway.
yeah,
Cremonese are right down there, I think, in 18th. Yeah, Como have the highest net spend in the league. So I think similar to you, I would have cast aspersions on that as a shout. I like Cremonese as a shout. I had them in my honourable mentions. I like the vibes of Jamie Vardy. So I'm happy to go Cremonese unless Josh has any final remarks that I don't
No,
get.
no, I'm fine with that.
Cool. Is that you don't want to talk about Italian football?
Yep.
A thumbs up there from Josh for the listeners at home. Well, there it is. Cremonese, the biggest overachieving club in Europe, plus England. We'll be back for a quiz shortly.
England is Europe.
yeah.
Oh, it depends who you ask, mate. Depends who you ask, Bell.
Yes.
Let's not get political on the Hoof Football podcast. We'll see you shortly for a quiz. Welcome back to the Hoof Football podcast, where it's time for a quiz. Now, Lewis had a shocker on the lineup last week, getting 0. If you haven't watched that, please go watch it because it's great fun. So this week, I've made it a tiny bit easier, purely because someone scored on Tuesday night, and it made me think. And that man was Stephen Nzonzi, who scored for Stoke in their win against Oxford. His first goal for the Potters since re-signing for the club. Now, his previous goal for the club came in 2015 in a 6-1 thrashing of Liverpool. But what was the Liverpool lineup that day?
oh, the Liverpool.
You've got 1 minute. Yeah, I'm not giving you Stoke one. Give me the
What
Liverpool
can I say?
lineup that day. Honestly, the Stoke one I think might be easier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I could already like picture who would be playing in that game. Okay, what was the date? Sorry, just to kind of
It was 2015. I believe it was May 2015.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Right towards the end of the season. I'll fact check that quickly for you.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, it was
put
May
down
2015.
probably the obvious players in
Just
that.
between us listeners, I'll run you through the Stoke team. It was Asmir Begovic in goal. You had someone called Cameron at right back, with Shawcross and Muniesa at the back. Eric Peters at left back. What a guy.
But,
Midfield two of Charlie Adam and Glenn Whelan. This is what I mean. This one's quite an easy team to get. You had Stephen Nzonzi, John Walters, Marco Arnautovic, and Juff. So
John Walters, what a player!
that's quite
like
an
a
easy
ball
team
at
to get.
Burnley. Played about 20 minutes.
There we go. Peter Odden-Wingy on the bench. Stephen Ireland on the bench. Peter Crouch. Steve Sidwell. Great little team.
I don't remember if he was at
Great little
Liverpool.
team.
I'm gonna put him on
I'll give you another 30 seconds, lads.
there. I've got 6 so far. I'm just
How many goals Stoke scored that day as well? That's a great little coincidence. Great little coincidence for you there, Charlie.
I can't think of the midfield apart from one player.
I've not got correct position in here. But anyway, I finished.
Do you want me to tell everyone the formation? Would that help?
Yeah, please.
They played
Yeah,
a
go on.
3-5-2.
We played a 3-5-2.
Oh,
Played a
wait.
3-5.
My problem is I can't. I've got too many midfielders, but I'm just going to go.
That's
I've
throwing a
got
spanner in
loads
the
of
works,
central
isn't it?
midfielders.
The little 3-5-2.
Oh,
Gonna need some answers shortly, boys. Gonna need some answers shortly.
wingers. I can't think. I can't even think of the keeper. What's going on?
Keeper's easy.
He's having a howler.
Yeah, I was like, keepers probably one of the easiest ones.
I'm having a howler because I
That,
can't
that
think.
that was one of the guaranteed. When I said you should get six, that was one of the six.
Yeah.
Well, I think I failed you with that one because
Quite possibly, Charlie. But you know what? You had a great showing last week, so and
yeah,
you were
exactly.
confident
Not
going into
not
it. So you never know.
not the worst thing in the world.
Have we all got 11 names down,
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Charlie?
No, I haven't. But I'm happy to just go through my list
What is your thing about just not putting down a full list of names?
because
I don't get it. Right, Lewis, I want to start with you after your bad showing
Okay.
last week.
I'm actually quite confident.
Okay.
Mignolet,
Yep.
Glenn Johnson,
Okay.
Martin Skirtle,
Yep.
and Sacco,
Yep.
Mamadou Sacco. I think he's called Moreno, Spanish guy.
Okay.
Henderson, I've gone with a midfield with Henderson of Lucas and Emre Can.
Okay.
And then Coutinho, Gerrard, and a bit chucking a Ricky Lambert. Just chucking a Ricky Lambert.
Okay. 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 I will tell you at least one of those players is on the bench.
Okay.
I've got Mignolet, Glenn Johnson,
Okay.
Marvin Skirtle,
Yep.
Daniel Agger. I
Okay.
feel that might be
Bit early.
yeah, not too late, I think. Colo Torre,
Okay.
Yes.
Alberto Moreno, Steven
Yep.
Gerrard, Jordan Henderson, Felipe Coutinho, Raheem Sterling, and Ricky Lambert.
Okay. Again, at least one of those players is on the bench there, Josh.
I bet it's Lambert.
And to Charlie, let's hear your list of not 11.
well, the keeper I've definitely got wrong because I put Adrian.
Yep. You're so far wrong. He was very much at West Ham.
I know. I just couldn't
5
think.
years ahead.
You all went with Glenn Johnson. I went with Nathaniel Klein, and I think I might be a bit too early with that one.
Great
I went with
shout.
I went with Mamadou Sakho,
Yep.
Martin Skirtle.
Yep.
I went with Dejan Lovren,
Okay.
Steven Gerrard, Philip Coutinho,
Mhm.
Raheem Sterling, and then I was struggling for a striker, so I went with Dirk Kuyt.
What? What?
Charlie, that's honking.
Oh, no.
That's got to be
That's
a clip.
absolutely awful.
As long as I
be a
get
flip.
6, though. As long as I get 6,
You
I'm
could have
fine.
just said Daniel Sturridge or someone.
That's absolutely awful, Charlie.
Could
Okay.
have done.
I can tell you the bench goes as follows. Danny Ward, Dejan Lovren, Colo Torre, Jordan Ibe, Lazar Markovic, Raheem Sterling, and Ricky Lambert.
Oh, Ricky.
So
The
I know he's
actual
starting
team.
up top because I crossed him out.
The actual team, and I'll tell you, Charlie is a mile behind her. It's Simon Mignolet. And then the back three was Emre Can, Mamadou Sakho, and
Yes.
Martin Skirtle.
My chap was at the back.
Yep, it was Alberto Moreno as the left back / left mid, and Jordan Henderson on the right hand side. It was a midfield three of Steven Gerrard, Joe Allen, and Lucas Leiva.
Yes.
With
I
them,
forgot about Joe Allen.
seemingly a front two of Philippe Coutinho and Adam Lallana.
Oh, so I'm
Right.
way off.
Lana.
Miss Lalana.
Strange lineup, but yeah, Charlie's on 4, Josh is on 7, Lewis on 9. So it's a return to form for Lewis Eady. We continue with.
If I tell you who scored, do I get a bonus point?
No,
Okay.
but go on. Tell me who you think it was.
Steven Gerrard.
It was Steven Gerrard. Yeah.
It was final of a game.
Right, on we go. Question 2. There's a slight Liverpool tinge to this as well. Panathinaikos beat Malmo 1-0 in the Europa League on Thursday night, with which former Liverpool prospect in the starting lineup? Is it Sergi Canos, Lazar Markovic, Pedro Chiravella, or Marco Grujic?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yes.
Charlie, go on.
I went with Markovic.
Okay, Josh?
Markovic.
Lewis?
Markovic.
It's Pedro Chiravella. It's Pedro
Oh.
Chiravella starting in midfield.
I used to sell him on career mode every single time.
Yeah, poor guy. He'll be devastated by that. Question 3.
Anyway,
Paphos secured their first ever Champions League win on Wednesday night, with former Watford men Ken Sema and Domingos Kinner featuring. But what year was the Cypriot club formed? And I'm not giving you any kind of options there. Just what year were they formed?
What year?
Yeah, I'm done.
yeah. So
Charlie?
Yeah, I'm done.
Go on, Josh.
2008.
Charlie?
Went with 1936.
Okay. Lewis?
I just went for my birth year, 2002.
It was 2014. It's 2014. So,
Do I
Charlie,
get a point?
you're quite no, you don't. Charlie, you're quite a way off there.
Yeah, just a bit.
That wasn't the closest to. You just had to tell me the number. Question
Okay.
4. Despite the return of Neymar, Santos are having a horror season, sitting in the relegation zone with just 8 games to play. Alongside the former Barcelona man is Bilal Brahimi, who started his career at which English side? Was it Middlesbrough? Was it Rochdale? Was it Preston? Or was it Blackburn? What English side did Bilal Brahimi start his career at?
I go on, man.
What are the four?
Middlesbrough, Rochdale, Preston, or Blackburn?
Yeah, I've locked my answer.
Lewis, you ready?
Yeah.
You can go first, mate.
Oh, Rochdale.
Okay, Josh,
Preston.
Charlie.
I went with Blackburn.
It's Middlesbrough.
Oh,
I thought
God.
that was a trick. I thought
No,
it was a trick.
no. He started his career with us. He played, I think, one appearance for the senior team in the Carabao Cup, and then went off to France, and now he plays with Neymar. Um, okay.
Not a great quiz this week for us. For
Whoa.
us. For us.
I was
For
going to
us.
say, I will deduct you a point here.
No,
Um,
for our showing.
okay, right. So we go into the final question where the only points have been given for the lineup so far. It's Charlie on 4, it's Josh on 7, and it's Lewis on 9. But as ever, there is a 5 points for dead on answer. So we could get another draw here. Question 5. It's not really a question. Sheffield United are shit, is the opening statement. They are
Statement.
second bottom in the league, having lost 11 out of 14 league games this season. The only other team to ever do this in the English second tier is AFC Wimbledon. But which season did they do that in? Closest answer wins, and obviously dead on gets 5 points, like I said. It was AFC.
When was the crazy gang? FA Cup. Was it the 90s?
Losing 11 out of 14 league games. It's a bad start. It's a bad start.
Okay. Yeah,
They said Chris Wilder would fix the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'm loving it personally. Charlie, you can go first.
I've gone with 2001 to 2002.
Okay. Josh
97 to 98.
and Lewis.
I actually also went with 2001 to 2002.
Oh, well, okay. I don't know what we do here. There's not a plan for this to occur. What I'll do,
What was the answer?
no one's dead on. So Josh is out of the running. Charlie and Lewis, give me another year. Whoever's closest gets the point.
2002 to 2003.
Okay, Charlie.
2003 to 2004.
Charlie's got 5 points.
Dean!
It's another
Wait, does
draw.
that mean we're tight? I'm
It's another
tied
draw.
though.
I still haven't prepped a tiebreak. Don't know. What's the name of the hospital I was born in? That's what we'll go for.
Middlesbrough.
The name of the hospital.
No, it's not.
Middlesbrough.
No, it's not. It's a draw again.
Oh, the name is Sunderland a shit.
Yeah, Lewis, you can have a point. Lewis wins the quiz. Lewis knows how to play this game. Lewis wins the quiz. Charlie, give us some trivia.
Trivia, right. So, did any of you see Mickey van der Ven's crazy solo goal against Copenhagen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arguably a Puskas contender. What I want you to tell me is how many Puskas winners or awards have come from Premier League clubs?
In its entirety.
Yes.
When's it been running?
What's been going for?
The Puskas Award started in 2009, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
We've got Giroud.
This is it's from Premier League clubs. I don't mean like goals that have happened in the Premier League, just from like winners that were playing with a Prem team.
No, go on. I'll have a poke.
Maybe that one. I've got an answer.
Yeah, so.
I've got
Lewis, have we got an answer?
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah.
Right, all right. Ben, we'll start with you.
Okay, the ones I was thinking Giroud, I think, won it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Garnacho won it with the overhead kick against Everton.
Yeah.
And then I feel like maybe the Wilshere one against Norwich, the team goal, because that's a belter. That could have won it. I don't know.
Okay.
Could have won it. Maybe the Rooney overhead kick in the derby. So I'm going to go 4.
Okay. Josh, what are we thinking?
I'm going to go 3. obviously the Giroud, Garnacho, and then Son against Burnley.
Oh yeah, okay.
Solid.
Lewis.
I'm pretty sure Lamella won it for the Rabona. So
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with 5.
Right. I'll list them off. So we've got the first one was in 2009, Ronaldo's 40 yards screamer for Manchester United against Porto. Second one, Olivier Giroud's scorpion kick, obviously with Arsenal. Salah's goal against Everton in 2018.
Oh, cool.
Son's
The one that shouldn't have
solo goal against Burnley, of course.
Okay.
Lamella did get the Puskas Award for that cheeky Rabona against Arsenal. And then Garnacho, obviously that's crazy overhead kick against Everton. So 6 altogether.
Bloody hell.
Could be
fair
7 depending on Van der Vendel's win.
Well, I think Zielinski should probably win it because that goal was a joke.
Yeah.
Daria. Well, there we go. We're all not very good at trivia, but Lewis is the best at quizzing this week, just purely because he hates Sunderland, and I respect that from a man. I appreciate that. Great work again. Josh loses the quiz this week based off Charlie getting 5 points. So yeah, great work, guys. Thanks for listening to Hoof It Podcast. Follow us on socials, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.